Hello crafters and welcome back. So let's finalize our page. For that, as you know, these pictures of mine measure 8 by 6. Um, and for that I cut photo mats which are at 8 and a quarter by 6 and a quarter, and there are actually 3 of them. The reason why there are 3 of them is because what I would like to do is place this one down. So this one is going to be glued straight on the paper, on the page, while this one using a strip underneath is gonna be pulled up like this. And I think this one is really cool like that because he's the one, jumping in the air. So is to go along with the boy jumping. Um, so like I said before, it's not like I invented the pop-ups, and while this mechanism does exist around, normally you will actually see it as a frame, something like this. So the underneath picture, it's inside of a frame. So I want to change this mechanism and make it so that you can use it without having this frame all around. That sometimes takes space on your page. Um, and maybe space that you don't have if you prefer to use smaller layouts or you make smaller albums. So I really hope that the idea in my mind works on how to create this without having to do that frame. I understand what's the need of that frame, but I'm trying to see if I can work around it. I'm going to take my risk. I'm going to do it straight here. So the reason why I did not glue any of these mats on the pictures is because I want to use some magnets under the pictures. And before we go along, I'm going to take one of these mats and on the 6 and a quarter side, I want to score it in half. So whatever size picture you use, score the mat in half. On the, like, if you want it to go like this, so you have to score it in half here. If you want it to go like this, you have to score it on half here. So right now I want mine to go up on the landscape. So therefore I'm going to score it in half all the way down on the landscape. So if this is 6 and a quarter, half would be 3 1/8 for me. Gotta put this mouse away because I keep kicking it and then I can't see what I'm doing. Okay. So this will fall like this when pulled up. So I want to put my magnets here on the bottom side of the way this is going to fold. So I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to use 3/8 of an inch magnets. Okay. Oh wait, I think I'm putting the magnets on the wrong side. Hang on a second. Hang on. So wait. So this will get pulled up like this. Yes, I'm putting them on the wrong side. Sorry. So I'm going to put the magnets on the lower side of the part that folds up, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It will make more sense later in the video. This is the part where the picture will be glued on as well. So let's do this again. Oh snap. Please, please don't get glued. Oh, phew. Okay. And now I want to place the same magnets on a flat photo mat. Okay, Sasha, we know all about it. So I'm going to turn this around. I'm going to use another 2 magnets. Put them down. Okay. So I'm going to remove it and put it on my tape exactly the same way. Trying to stay clean because we got the entire project open up. Okay. Now I'm going to take this blank photo mat. I'm going to match these two, and I'm going to press down so those magnets stay there. So now I'm ready to place, and this is the photo mat that is going to take the picture that will sit under, the one that will be glued down on our project, making sure that when I'm going to apply the picture, the glue from the magnets is not going to be visible, and it will be visible a little bit here. So when I'm gonna remove this, I'm gonna roll a little bit on this one. Okay, so now I'm ready to apply my picture. So this is the picture that will be glued down on our project. And that's that. Okay, cleaning up the table. I'm gonna burnish it a little bit. As you can see, I also did the corners, but once again, this is optional. And now we are going to glue this down. Let's take this out of the way. So I'm going to apply tape, but I'll also use super glue. I'm gonna second, my little one is calling me. Okay, crisis over. So I'm going to remove the tape backing. And like I said, I'm also going to use some super glue. Oh, don't run on me now that I need you. So now I'm going to try and center this to the page. I'm nice and straight because right now it's too late to move it anyway. And that's it. The necks are there. Great. Now we are going to place this picture on this photo mat. Yes. Okay. You know what? Let me go and get another super glue tube. And since I went to the box has 10 bottles of super glue, for which I paid around $5 including tax. But because we are working with paper, we don't need a stronger super glue. So at this point, actually I'm going to open this one anyway. This is the best for what we're doing, in my opinion, only because I have these stubborn papers, that's all. Okay, let's glue our picture on the photo mat, nice and straight. Okay, great. So this is going to sit like this, and like this will sit like this. And I'm not gluing this yet to this piece because this is the in between them we are going to glue the tab that pulls up, right? That pulls the picture up. And in order to do that tab, cut a piece of paper, and in my case I'm cutting it wide because I have big pictures. And in your case, it will all depend on the, are you going to work on the 4 inch side? Are you going to work on the 6 inch side? Um, But I would say that probably like an inch should work for you. Um, so this is 3 inches, but we are going to fold it to make it stronger because we have big pictures to pull. And normally when it comes to tabs, I do advise to double them. Okay, so in this case, what I'm going to do, I am going to, so this is 3 inches long. Okay, so I am going to 1.5 inch would be half. I am going to score it at 3/4 of an inch on each side. 3/4. I don't think I scored this one at 3/4. Darn it. No, I did not. So 3/4 of an inch and 3/4 of an inch. Um, the other thing is we don't know what to be the length yet. To determine the length, we are going to measure from the bottom of here. And where's my ruler for that? So from the bottom of the photo mat all the way to the end of our page. So let's see, what do we have? I have exactly 8.5 inches. So that is going to be the length, 8.5 inches. But I also need the strip to glue in between, and for that I want to give myself another 3/4 of an inch. Okay, so therefore the length of my strip is going to be 9.25 inches. So once again, how did I come up to that measurement? I measure from the base of the, or from the photomat base of the picture is going to this one that sits on is glued down on our page, all the way to the end of the designer paper, that 8.5 inches. But I also need the 3/4 of an inch flap. So 8.5 inches plus 3/4 of an inch, that's 9.25 inches. So now I am going to take this strip and I'm going to cut it at 9.25 inches. Okay, 9.25 inches. Okay, and I am going to now score it here at 3/4 of an inch. Okay, then I'm going to take the scissors and I'm going to cut all the way to the long score line. So I want to make sure to see which one is 3/4 of an inch here. Because, all right, so the first score line. This one here is wrong, remember. So we are going to take out this because I need that flap. Okay. And then I'm going to cut a little bit of an angle here. And here. So basically what did we do? Let's put it here where it's a little bit, so I took out these sides and then I can find those tiny little pieces. And then I also cut a little bit of an angle over there. The next step is to fold on these flaps. Okay. And they should perfectly meet in the middle. If you feel they are overlapping, trim them a little bit. Because, for example, in my case, the paper moved. and this flap will be folded this way. So we are turning this flaps and we are going to glue them down. Okay, and guess what I'm going to use for that? Let me just get away from, first and foremost, I want to burnish them. Okay, and we are going to use super glue to fold these flaps. Okay, I'm going to do the same on the other side. So this piece will be glued here first, okay, and then we are going to glue this picture here, but only up to the score line. Okay, so let's try to find, let's glue it as much as in the middle as possible. So at this point, because I trimmed those corners, this is 7.5, so the middle would be what, 3 3/4. Okay, so I'm going to glue this piece here like that. Shut. Let me get rid of these knobbings. Okay, so let's do that. Super glue. Bring this here. Try and eyeball it to be in the middle. And now glue this shut. Okay. So next step is to glue our picture here like this. So just stay here like this, so that when we pull on this comes up, of course, but right now we need to work on that. So we are going to glue this one only on the bottom half. Okay, so I'm going to remove the tape backing because then I'll forget about it. I'm going to apply more double-sided tape, but of course that I'm going to also use, you know what, super glue. I really wish I had this idea of super glue from the beginning of this project, I swear. Oh, this one has a big bubble of air in there. There it goes. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to bend this piece. Try not to get my project dirty, of course. And I'm going to come and perfectly match these two. So this will sit here like this, and when it's time to pull, it's gonna pull up and come like this, right? Or wrong? Oh snap, what did I do wrong? I know what I did wrong. No, actually no. Hang on. See, when you try to change mechanisms without testing them, you can create issues. So I know what I did wrong. I should have had a flap here. These should have been together. I can still add the flap. And then this should feed through here. All right, so let's do that then. Yes, so I am going to cut a 8¼ by 1" flap. Just don't like it. The fact it's gonna sit on top of the picture. And there is no way I'm going to be able to undo this. God, you scare me. Darn it, darn it, darn it. But yeah, okay, let's do that. So once again, watch the video first and then work on your project. So I need 1" at 8¼ okay. Score this in half at ½ inch. Okay. Now let's see if I can do the scallops or not. Yeah, I knew it was gonna look not so nice. So when you do this, create this to get the two photomats together, so to make like a booklet. For me, it's too late to do that, so therefore I have no other choice to do it this way. And because I could have put it up here, but now because I already cut this, oh no, wait a second, I could put it up here and it's not gonna look so bad. But then if I do that, this is not going to be exactly on top of this picture, and this is what we want. So yeah, it will be glued on the back of this. Okay, so first I'm gonna glue it down here, exactly at the end of the photo mat. And before I glue this piece, so we are going to glue this down, but I'm going to glue this against this. Okay, I am going to make a channel for this tail to go through. So I'm going to make a marking. Somewhere like an inch away from the base. And now I'm going to create that channel, which is not going to be easy because this already been glued on. To be tough to get in there with the knife. My God, this is such a mess. But what I could do is use something underneath it in order to cut that. Either a scrap of chipboard, good idea, chipboard. Okay. So making sure I'm nice and straight. And I really hope this tutorial is not going to confuse you, but this is the truth about the way a crafter works, seriously, especially when you work without testing first. And I'm going to make like a small channel. So I'm cutting like a 1/16 of an inch channel here. Okay. Just make sure that, yeah, there is enough space on both sides. See, there is a little bit of space on both sides. And now, let's take this away. Let me, okay, that's like that. So this will be the back. Okay, so here I'm going to put a little bit of a scotch tape so that in time it is not going to rip. So I'm gonna take a little bit of scotch tape. Okay, put it down, and then we are going to cut again so we can cut that to release the hole again. I'm gonna put again a piece of chipboard here. I really hope that if I show you how I work, or you might get your own ideas of how to repair things when you do things wrong, or it doesn't necessarily that we do things wrong. That's the wrong way to say it. Like when things don't turn out the way you imagined it. Okay. Oh, perfect. It stayed there. So now we should be okay for the time being. Let's see. So I'm gonna feed this through here. Yes. Okay, and then I'm going to put this here. Okay, so now when you pull, once it's glued down, of course this should come up like this. So actually at this point I don't even think I was actually, the way I was gonna finalize this is to feed this tab through underneath, right? But since the project has gained strength, because I didn't realize we were supposed to, I mean yeah, we are supposed to, but when you change mechanism, it plays differently in your mind than it's in real life. And like I said, this should have been before we apply the pictures, like this strip here, or of course if the photomats were small enough. So if let's say this was 12 by 12, because this is 6 by 6, let's say, this would have been folded in half, okay, and we have created this fold. We need this fold, we need the two photomats to stay together. And actually it's not even the two photomats, it's the photomat from one picture, from the picture that is that's not moving, that is glued on, and the part that folds, okay, this part here, because it's this part that we are going to glue down here. So I was saying, because this played differently in my mind, I thought I was going to need to feed this through underneath the paper, but this is not the case. So in this case I'm going to shorten this. So that previous measurement, when I said I'm going to measure from here to the end, okay, no longer plays. At this point is from, of course, from the end of the uh, from the end of your from the end of your photomat, but it all depends on what length you want to give, because I'm going to crop this here and then I'm going to use the chomper to make it look nice, and I'll just leave it like that. Okay, so right now I'm just going to glue this. Okay, so it's this, I'm going to glue it to this. All right, so let's do that, and that will finalize this. So this is how you would change the mechanism that I just showed you with the frame into without the frame. And if I was going to, of course, test this offline, I would have realized this, but I didn't, so it played differently in my mind. Oh snap, I forgot to put this on the, okay, so I'm going to, I'm afraid this super glue dried off already, darn it. I forgot it open, and this one is empty. Great. So now I'm going to, there is the one that we just opened. It's already drying. No, 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 please don't dry it. Okay, so now I'm going to let the magnets do the job. Don't understand why the magnets are not acting now. There it goes. And then press this down and keep it there to dry. And I should have cut this before. Oh my god. So I guess I'm not going to use the chomper. Or maybe I'll be able to once I pull on it. Let's see. Yes, now it works. And the good news is it's not so visible because, I mean, how much are you gonna pull out? You know what I mean? Okay, let me throw this away. I still want to finish this piece. So now you see the importance of watching the video first and then take action. Let me get my chipboard piece and shorten this here. Make it straight. And let's see how much I want to cut. I'll probably leave this at an inch. It's an inch there. I think I'm at an inch. Hang on a second. This ruler confuses me like hell. So that's my inch. I know what, an inch and a quarter. Hopefully I'll be able to use the jumper too. Okay, so hopefully, yeah, I can use the jumper here, write this like that, scallop. Okay, let me turn this around. There we go. If you want to, you can always mat that piece. I might, I'm not sure yet. But this is it. And my desk is so messy. There you go. Okay. So like this, it's without the frames. And this is your full page, which now we are yet to glue on our main page. So turn it around. And I'm gonna do this next offline. I'm not gonna bore you anymore. It's gonna be really easy. I'm going to put glue on the entire page all the way around, and then I'll just go ahead and glue it on top of our existing page. And believe it or not, I've got no more pictures left. We are actually at the end of our album. So we've used 4 base pages. I know at the beginning we created 6 because it really looked like a lot of pictures, but actually it's only 4. I still have to make the pocket for this. I'm not sure yet if I'm applying this as a page or if I'm going to apply this on the back cover. I'm still thinking about this. Judging by the weight, although it's not very thick, but it's a little bit heavy because it's a hardcover, I think it's better off if it sits on the cover of the album. Okay, so we'll be back and I'm going to show you how to make this. Again, we are going to make this live, so we are going to work on it together, and maybe this is a good opportunity to show you guys how to create, you know, a pocket, or more like in this case going to be a little bit like a tiny little box made of cardstock to fit this booklet. maybe this will help you how to determine, like in case you need to make boxes for your cards, you'll know how to measure your card versus how to create your box. So maybe that will make it easy for you. Thank you for the time being. Thank you for your patience, and thank you for hanging in there with me, and for learning along with me, because like I said, while these ideas pan out in my mind, as you can see, when you put them in practice, there are changes to be made when you don't test it before you do it. Thank you. Bye bye.